Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Insomnia Fix. I am excited to talk to you today. I am tuning in from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where it is currently snowing and 32 degrees. So, this is what spring looks like in the mountains. It's this time of year that I definitely miss living back east. I grew up in South Carolina where spring was beautiful. The grass is growing and flowers are blooming and birds are chirping. And I don't miss much about living in the South, but this time of year is what I do miss. And it is also Earth Day today, on the day that I'm recording this. So I always think of Earth Day as being a nice, beautiful, sunny day, but that is not what it is here today. All right. So today I want to talk about a powerful exercise that you can use to sleep more peacefully. And this is visualization. And I will start with saying that visualizing my future has helped me in so many different parts of my life, especially in my business. So when I was first starting out and I learned about visualization, I would visualize myself every morning having this thriving business. I'd imagine myself being busy writing blog posts and emails and being on social media to inspire people. I would imagine myself talking to many interested clients and working with clients, interpreting their lab results, being on calls with them, explaining things. And it was crazy because I realized a year or two later that my visualizations had come true. My days started looking exactly like I had visualized them to look like, which was so amazing. So now I still, every morning, I meditate. And then at the end of my meditation, I spend a few minutes visualizing what I want my future to look like. What my days are going to look like, how many people I'm going to be helping, what my business is going to look like, and the impact I'm going to be making on the world, and how my life is going to change, going on vacations and having more money and being able to afford all the experiences that I want to have. So it's really amazing, though, to be able to look back and see exactly what I visualized has actually come true. So I know that that can be true for the future too. And so this is a really powerful exercise. So if you want to improve your sleep faster, it really can help to start becoming the person who sleeps well. So you want to imagine your future self who has no problem with sleep. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you do? And it can even help to think of what you did to get there. Because this is the thing, is good sleepers barely think about sleep until it's time to go to bed, right? They're not worrying about their sleep during the day. They aren't and they aren't talking to their friends and family about sleep. They don't worry that a poor night of sleep is going to ruin their next day, right? They're just not thinking about it. And I know this can be hard to imagine if you struggle to sleep for a long time because you're used to thinking about it all the time, worrying about it, talking about it, researching about it. I know that I did all of these things. And so it can help to stop doing these things now, even if your sleep hasn't improved yet. So, to change your sleep, you want to become the person who sleeps well. You have to start thinking and feeling and acting like a good sleeper. So take some time to think and write about what does that look like for you? So what will you do differently when you're sleeping well and you have more energy? Maybe you'll meditate first thing in the morning. I remember working with my client Jai Paul, who I talked about in the episode about H. pylori, and one of the reasons he wanted to figure out his sleep is because he wanted to be meditating and having the spiritual practice in the morning and he wasn't able to. So I encourage him to start doing that now, even if it's just a 5 minutes to start. If that is something you want to do and that's what you would be doing if only you could sleep well, then consider doing that now. What else would you do? Maybe you go out with friends at night and not worry about how late you're out. Maybe you would read a book before bed. Maybe you would volunteer every week. Just think of all the things that you tell yourself, I will do these things when I'm sleeping better. If only I could sleep better, then I would do this. Write all of those things down. And also think about, how do you interact with people? How do you interact with strangers, with your family, with your friends? Are you grumpy and irritable, or are you happy and grateful and in a good mood? How do you get dressed in the morning? I know when I'm tired, I just want to wear yoga pants and baggy clothes. I don't care about getting dressed and looking nice and putting on a little bit of makeup. So take the time to think about, if you were sleeping better, what would change for you? What would your life look like? And once you've written those down, even better, it can help to take 5 minutes, 2 minutes each day to visualize these things happen. Visualize yourself sleeping well, waking up rested, going throughout your day as a person who sleeps well. What are you doing? How are you acting? What are you wearing? What are you thinking? You're not thinking about sleep. What else would you be thinking about? Probably things that would help you have a greater impact in the world, even if it's just being friendlier to the person checking you out at the grocery store. And then once you figure these out, start doing some of these things now. Maybe start checking off what's going to be the easiest thing to do that actually doesn't take that much energy, and start trying to work on those things. And what this is going to do, this is going to tell your brain that you want to sleep so that you can do these things. So, right now, what's wired in your brain, the neural pathways in your brain are, I can't sleep, I'm tired. And so that's repeating over and over and over in the brain, right? They're like these ruts that are highways in your brain. Those thoughts just come so quickly because you're so used to thinking them. So, part of rewiring your brain is coming up with new thoughts. And it's going to be like building a new road. It's not going to feel easy at first. It's easier to think those default negative thoughts that are on that highway that you've been thinking forever. But the more you can start thinking positively, visualizing yourself as sleeping well and doing the things that you would do as a good sleeper, then the more you are going to rewire your brain. The more, the stronger, the smoother that road is going to be in your mind. So you start becoming that person ahead of time, and then reality will catch up, I promise. Now, of course, this isn't the only answer. If there are imbalances in your body that are affecting your sleep, you want to also be at the same time addressing those things. But once you have a plan of how to figure out your sleep, this is part of it. Doing this visualization, becoming that person ahead of time. I remember someone pointed this out to me, and this has been really profound for me, is that everything that's been created in the world, someone it happened in someone's mind first. And so every single invention, like you think about the light bulb, no one knew that was possible. Thomas Edison had to have that idea that that was even possible in his mind before he could actually create it. Same with the Wright brothers and the airplane. They had to believe that it was possible. They had to believe that they could build something that would fly before they actually created it. So it actually always needs to be in the mind first. So even if you're trying to address the underlying health issues that are affecting your sleep, if you're still using that default thinking and thinking, I can't sleep, I'm not a good sleeper, I can't figure this out, and obsessing about sleep all the time, your progress is going to be a lot slower if it happens at all. So the key is always to think it first, which seems so counterintuitive, but it's just how it works. It's actually how the world works. It's always in our mind first, and then reality happens. Awesome. So I've been chatting with someone on Instagram named Allie a little bit. And so this is kind of a relevant topic. She is talking about how she has sleep anxiety, and that's what's keeping her awake. And so I kind of want to answer that question of what to do about sleep anxiety. And first of all, I want to point out that this is normal if you aren't sleeping well. Our bodies and brains need to sleep. And so our brain is going to focus on what it needs that it's not getting. This is why when you go on a diet and restrict calories, your brain becomes obsessed with food. This is why if you're thirsty, your brain makes you constantly think about water. It's a survival technique that it's using to help you get your needs met so that you can survive. So if you aren't sleeping, it's normal that your brain is going to obsess about sleep. And so, but again, it's about rewiring your brain at this point. So you can tell it, okay, I'm going to figure this out. Everything is fine. I can be a good sleeper. And so visualization is going to help with this. So this is just another tool that can be used to help rewire your brain. So I do want to point out that, anxiety about sleep, I mean, that's also not going to help if your body's releasing cortisol at night or if cortisol is low and then it has to resort to adrenaline. All of those hormones also increase our anxiety. And when you're feeling wired but exhausted, yes, that's going to feel like anxiety about sleep and you're going to be thinking about sleep. So visualizing being a better sleeper is powerful. Working on rewiring your brain is really powerful, but it's not going to be enough if you have underlying health issues, if you have these imbalances in your body that are keeping you awake. So you aren't necessarily going to sleep better if you only address the mental part. If you did, I wouldn't be working with people who have done cognitive behavioral therapy or who have seen therapists for years. And it's also not gonna work if you only address the physical part, but you have all this anxiety about sleep, or you have all this stress in your life, or you just perceive yourself as a bad sleeper. So the other part is going to continue to sabotage your sleep. If you're only looking at the mental part, the physical part is going to continue to sabotage your sleep and vice versa. So this is why I designed the Complete Sleep Solution program to be a body and a mind program because you really need to look at both at the same time if you truly want to sleep better long term. And so that is what we can help you with, and we would love to help you. You can schedule a free consultation so we can meet each other, get to know each other, and confirm that this program is going to help you achieve what you're wanting to achieve with your sleep and with your health. And if you're curious if it's your body or your mind that's causing your sleep issues, I have a quiz that you can find on my website, thecompletesleepsolution.com. So it has about 20 really quick questions. It takes less than 3 minutes, and it will tell you what percentage of your body is affecting your sleep and what percentage of your mind. And that way you know what to address. So feel free to go there and fill out that quiz. And I will look forward to talking to you next week. Next week, I will be interviewing my new team member named Tina. So she is joining the team as a health coach. She's going to be working with many of my clients. And I am really excited because she has a lot of experience in the mental health space and more recently in the functional medicine space. So she has the same certification I do to run the functional lab test and really help people in this holistic way. And so we have this great conversation about mental and physical health and how they're connected and how we're helping people sleep better. So stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I will talk to you next week.